Welcome back, everyone, to the next episode of the Power Platform Advanced Calendar. My name is Joergen Schladot. I'm a solution architect for Dynamics 365, customer engagement, and the Power Platform. And today I will share the next tip, which is referring to a new preview feature that is available in the Power Platform, also referring to model-driven apps and to Dynamics 365, and where we will need PowerFX. So what is PowerFX? PowerFX is the formula-based language, which is similar to the one known in Excel, which is used, for example, in Canvas apps, in custom pages and model-driven apps, in the modern commanding, which is the ribbon bar at the top of the model-driven apps, also in some PowerFX calculated columns in Dataverse, and now in preview also in local plugins in the Dataverse Accelerator app. And why is this so cool to have local plugins now? So plugins are available in the model-driven apps in Dynamics 365 for a long time as pro-code features. They are C# based and they're running on the server. And now this will be available also for citizen developers, for people normally working with PowerFX code who don't know C# to run their code server-side and to have the code written once. So for example, you have a project where a Canvas app is available and a model-driven app. And normally you have to write the PowerFX codes and for the Canvas apps, for example, if you want to check field validation. And of course, you then have to do it again in the model-driven app. And now with low-code plugins, you can write it once and have it available in the model-driven apps and in the Canvas apps as well, or also in a Power Automate. There's a difference. So there are different steps when we talk about plugins, when plugins can be executed. With pro-code plugins, you have the pre-validation step, the pre-operation step, and the post-operation step, where you can bring your plugin in. And with a low-code plugin, you have only the option to use a pre-operation or the post-operation step. So pre-validation is at the moment not available for low-code plugins. As I said, it's still a preview feature at the moment. So one of the recommendations is don't use one of your production environments or even no environment where you're developing code for your projects. Use your own test or trial tenant. So I'm referring back to the first tip I think I did in this advanced calendar. It's so easy to get your own environment for testing, learning purposes. Use this one that you have hopefully created until now to follow our tips. And you need the Dataverse Accelerator app to create these local plugins. So in most environments that I have seen right now, this app has been installed by Microsoft already. It's there. It's a solution which has been developed by the PowerCat team from Microsoft, which has been rolled out in October. But even if it's not available in your environment, you can very easily get it for free in the app source. Just search for Dataverse Accelerator, you will find it. You can click on Get It Now, and then it will be deployed to the environment of your choice, and you can use it. Once you have installed the Dataverse Accelerator app, or maybe you have seen it already in your environment, there's this yellow information line and at the top, and this is coming with the Dataverse Accelerator app. This is asking you to define a solution where your local plugins will be stored in. So you can use an existing one, or you can just create a new solution and define it as a base solution for your local plugins. And it's not using the preferred solution that you may have set up already before. So I will just create a new Dataverse Accelerator solution. Select the existing publisher, because unique name isn't allowed to be used. Once available, copy your unique name, click on the yellow box, enter it, and save it. Then you're ready to go. Next step is go to the apps, select all, and there you will find the Dataverse Accelerator app where you can click on the play button. You will see that there are two different types of plugins that you can create. One is an instant plugin, which can be triggered, for example, directly out of a Power Automate flow. Then you have to use the Dataverse connector and an unbound action. Or you can use it also in a Canvas app. There you have to make sure that you include the environment table in your app, because in the environment table, all the low-code plugins will be stored. Let's calculate. There are some examples also available on the Dataverse Accelerator Learn page, but I will use a little bit more complex one. So if you have children maybe in doing math, they are learning the Pythagoras in the calculation, and that's why I'm using it. So you have to define your ingoing values, and I will select A and B. You have to make sure that, for example, if you want to do some calculations, that you have to select the correct data type. Otherwise, it will not be working. Then you have to define your formula. You're starting with the output parameter, and then I'm looking for the square root of a squared plus b squared. And now I'm saving it. I just saved it. Now we can test it directly. And let's enter the values 3 and 4. So expectation would be square of 3 is 9, square of 4 is 16, the sum is 25. Run it. And you can see the result is 5. The square root of 25 is 5. Okay, so that's what you could do, for example, with an instant plugin. With the automated plugins, that is something which is running server side in the backend and is reacting to values that you're entering, for example, in your database table. So I will make a phone check or name check, name validation on the contact record when I'm creating or updating a record. And I want to check if the last name has at least 2 characters. If it has less than 2 characters, I want to show an error. Please enter a valid surname. And I can also combine it with a check of the first name. We'll also check if there are less than 2 characters, and then present the error. And if the field is blank, no error will be shown. Problem with the low-code plugins is you can only have one plugin per table. So you have to bring them all in the same formula, and you can use this semicolon in between to concatenate them. And of course, we want to have the pre-operation because we want to inhibit saving or creating the record if there are less characters. So post-operation plugin would be, for example, if you will send out an information to Teams, for example, that a record has been created, or in-app notifications. This would be something which you create in the post-operation. So table is selected as contact, correct. and clicking on save. Plugin saved successfully. And now I have to refresh first name, maybe save and close. And now it's working and saving the record. Okay, as you can see, so we have the check if it's less than 2 characters, we will have the error or another error. As it's still in preview, I'm not sure if this has now something to do with the Dataverse Accelerator, but we can see that there is a validation running in the backend. Definitely a feature which I'm looking forward coming to general availability. There have been some changes meanwhile in the last weeks, so it's also possible to add connectors into the low code. What I'm really waiting for is to make it a little bit easier for you to create the PowerFX code. Maybe another quick tip at this stage. I mentioned the PowerFX columns, where PowerFX is used as well in Dataverse. So if you go to columns, create a new column and select here the formula, then at the moment you can see it's only available that you have to enter manually the PowerFX formula. If you have a look at the preview and create the same column, then there is a new feature available. If you select PowerFX formula, we have this selector and you can select get formula suggestions in preview. And now you have Copilot supporting you creating your PowerFX code also in this PowerFX columns. And I think this would be also helpful when this feature is coming, hopefully, to the Dataverse Accelerator and also to the commanding, helping you to get the right PowerFX formulas by describing it in natural language. So sorry that the demo is not working 100% as expected, but I think it's still in preview and you get the feeling what will come to Dataverse. As always, when you're doing live demos, you have to deal with some errors that can occur, and pray to the demo god that everything will work fine. So thanks for joining today.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Thanks.